Alright, y'all. I don't know why people in public office and people who work for the public try me. But I got a message. Anthony Oxenhold, Access 228. I got a message for y'all at Justice Court, First Justice in Gulfport. When a member of the public calls up there, you work for us. We don't need your fucking attitude. And I'm gonna be filing a goddamn complaint when I get back on the coast. I'll be back in about 2.5, 3 weeks. Just because you may not like hearing the same question when somebody's asking for clarification, that does not give you the right to sit there and try to act like you're better than somebody. Because I got news for you. I'm better than you. By virtue of my tax dollars pay for that office you're sitting in. I hate coming on here and turning this into a bitch session. God damn. Give y'all the backstory of what happened. 2 friends of mine were arrested. I don't agree that they were doing right 100%. I'm not saying that I believe the charges that they were charged with were completely 100% their fault, but they certainly made some choices that opened themselves up to having those charges pressed. Not gonna name names, but one of them's out, one of them's still in. Both of them were supposed to have court on the 19th. One of them now has court on the 19th. The other one, they pushed it back, and nobody will tell anybody why. There's no reason for it. The one that's still in jail is the one that got the charges pushed back. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and I believe I have a right to know because this is public record. Obviously, Harrison County Jail still has this person listed as a court date of November 19th. Obviously, somebody told the jail because that's what it's been saying since she was arrested. Now, I will admit that these charges are old and they should have taking better care of their business. Nobody's ever going to get an argument out of me that people shouldn't miss court. You should 100% go to court when you're supposed to. You should 100% follow all orders of the judge like you're supposed to. Nobody will ever hear me say anything other than that because I believe it as firmly as I believe the earth's round and the sky's blue. But where I get confused is when court dates get changed and we're trying to figure out why. It makes no sense. I understand that my friends and me, I'm guilty of it too, we got a habit of pissing people off. Which, Justice Court, I haven't begun to piss in your cornflakes yet. But I'm fixing to. I'm fixing to start slapping FOIAs on why the court date got changed. And drag it before the Ethics Commission and Chancery Court if you don't want to give me an answer. I'm already taking Gulfport to Chancery Court. I don't mind taking y'all to task, because arbitrarily changing somebody's court date just because the Spirit moved you, I have a problem with. Especially when they're sitting in jail for longer than they would have gotten if they were found guilty before they ever see the day in court. Here's the other thing. This person on her misdemeanors, not talking about anything else, just what is being dealt with in justice court, her bonds total $900. Mississippi state law states that they must give you credit for at least $25 per day that you were incarcerated against your capias. That is codified in Mississippi state law. That means that in 36 days, those fines should have been paid. At the minimum. I don't know what Harrison County is giving. I know George County gives $100 a day toward capias. I don't know what Harrison County gives. But $900, $25 a day is 36 days. By the time the new court date comes out, it will have been like 41 days. So more time than the time that she could sit to get time served on her fines. This is my concern. Here's the other concern of mine I have, and I've had this concern for a long time. I've said this in other videos. Those of y'all that don't know, you can be a judge in the state of Mississippi and all you need is all 3 degrees, a G, a E, and a D. That's all you need to be a judge in the state of Mississippi. For municipal court and justice court. These are why these are not courts of report. That's why there's no jury trials in justice or municipal court. That's why if you want real justice and a real courtroom and a real trial, you appeal it to county court. Not many people do that, unfortunately. Personally, I think everybody should do it. Maybe it change the system. When it starts costing the county more money to actually prove their case in a reportable court, maybe these practices would stop. But they don't want you doing that. They don't want you to know that. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I've made a habit of kicking quite a few lawyers' asses, but I'm not a lawyer. I would venture to say that I'm probably more qualified than most. But the point being is, we allow this to happen. We allow these parasites to talk to us like we're fucking children. I'm gonna tell you, I'm 41 years old. I'm not your child. Not by any means. Harrison County Justice Court, y'all ain't heard the last of me. Y'all want to play games? I'm gonna show you I can play them too. I'll bury y'all under a stack of paperwork. You won't know what to do. And I'm fixing to get started. Why these judges are allowing this shit to happen, I don't know. Let me tell y'all something else that happened too. Wednesday afternoon, I actually went to court, Justice Court in Gulfport, for a preliminary hearing. Now, I'll admit, I didn't know much about preliminary hearings on felonies. Let me explain to y'all what a preliminary hearing is. Y'all need to understand and listen carefully to what I'm fixing to say. You have a right to a preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing makes the state present their case to the judge to see if they have enough of a case to go to grand jury. Most people waive preliminary hearing. Most people don't know what they're signing when they waive preliminary hearing. They get you to sign it at the jail. From the way I understand what they're doing. Without counsel. Most people can't afford a lawyer, I'll be honest with you. Most people cannot. I get that the only product that lawyers have to sell is their own personal time. But some of these prices that I've heard that some of these lawyers are charging for these indigent criminal defendants is insane. And most PD, public defenders, most of them, what they want to do is they want you to plead out. They don't want you to go to trial. Most lawyers don't want you to go to trial. Plead it out so I can close the file and go to my next client, collect my fee. That's the attitude of most lawyers. It's a bullshit argument, but it's the truth. Now, let's take into account that grand juries in Mississippi take up to can take around a year. At least in Harrison County, it takes about a year for you to get indicted. I would almost argue that this is a violation of your Sixth Amendment right to a speedy and public trial. I don't know why somebody hasn't raised that constitutional argument, but then again, most lawyers are pussies. But when you do a preliminary hearing, you're actually going in front of somebody who more than likely does not have a law degree, specifically a justice court judge. Justice court judge gets its name from the old Justice of the Peace. Justice of the Peace was an elected person way back in the day that settled mild disputes, could marry you, basically handled the lowest of the lowest forms of what would be called the legal profession. Now they handle criminal cases, minor, mostly misdemeanors. But as a bail bondsman, when I write a bail bond on a felony, if the person is pre-indictment, I'm going to write a bond to justice court, and then I'm going to write a bond to circuit court. So I've dropped 2 bonds there. That means that your preliminary hearing is going to be held probably in justice court with somebody who doesn't have a law degree, and justice court, municipal court judges almost universally rubber stamp whatever the prosecutor wants. But my opinion is, if more people quit waiving their preliminary hearing, the judge would have to do some work, and so would the attorneys, so would the prosecutor. I am not a fan of our Harrison County prosecutor, Herman Cox, by any means. I think he's corrupt. I think he's dirty. I just can't prove it. I can't say for certain, but my opinion of the man is very low. I think he enables corruption, and he enables police officers to get away with crimes and things that the ordinary citizen would not be allowed to get away with. That is corrupt. And I've seen that firsthand. Many of y'all know my biggest thing is documentation. You falsify a document, by state law, you have committed perjury. That is a state law. That is a felony charge. People have gone to prison for perjury. But according to Herman Cox, that doesn't matter when it comes to public officials in Harrison County. And I'm about sick of his ass doing that. I wish there was a lawyer that was worth a damn that could run against him. Unfortunately, nobody stepped up recently. I don't mind being tough on crime, be tough on crime all the way around. I understand my friend missed her court date and did not do what the judge said that she was supposed to do. I get that. I'm not excusing her behavior. But if you're going to go after her, do it the right way. Doing shit the wrong way costs us, the taxpayers, your employers, those of us who live and pay taxes in Harrison County. And you, Miss Thing that works up there that I just got off the phone with a few minutes ago, if you see this video, remember my face when you see me walk in there and hand y'all a whole bunch of paperwork. Because it's coming. It's coming. Y'all really stepped up and stepped on something that you didn't want to step on. I personally will not stand for it. My job as a journalist is to hold your feet to the fire and make sure that you are doing your job the right way. And if you're not, my job as a tax-paying citizen, somebody who pays your salary, is to have you relieved of your job by any legal means necessary. I didn't get your name, but I remember your voice. And I'm going to push to see if I can't get you out of your job, get you fired. Because you obviously have no business working in a public office. And again, y'all answer to us. We don't answer to y'all. I'm not the fucking defendant. Stand up for your rights, people. To quote John Bryan, freedom is scary, deal with it. And accountability is even scarier. Make it happen.